You're on record now, so.
Recorded.
I recorded it.
On record.
Yeah, you're record. Yeah. Well, let me know what's going on with your life besides what we shared. Yeah. Hello. Any particular?
I think someone's calling me.
Mm?
Hello?
Any particular subject?
Mm.
Mentor or any particular question or any particular testimony?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you talked about even change and people having willingness to change in life,
Mm.
for the past, I guess, few months,
Mm.
I felt like trying to find the best way to explain my thoughts here. It's like when you're in like a certain season of life,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like, if you think about it, you're like holding on to something.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're there
Yes.
and you're in this time of life.
Yes.
But then there's times in life where you're like in between seasons of life.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like you've let go of this holding
Holding pattern.
and you're just
Holding
falling. Not
Yeah.
not falling in a bad way. You're just not
Yeah.
you're not holding on
Yeah.
to something super tightly.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like
Experienced,
I've
yeah.
been for a few months.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's a bad thing.
No.
I do think I definitely need to hold on to something.
Mm-hmm.
But
And you are, I think you're holding on, you said, the desire for wisdom,
Mm.
desire for good relationship,
Mm.
things you said, gold, money cannot buy stuff
True.
today, that's good to hold on, so,
Mm.
yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I think these past few months I've been trying to make real change in my life because I want to change, I don't,
Mm.
not that I feel like I've been so terrible or whatever, but I think,
Sure.
I'll be an adult in like a week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a year and it's a legally whatever year that America
Yeah.
says you're an adult. But
That's crazy.
Still.
I need to change myself because I'm still treating it like a 15.
No,
years
it's
old, it's alright.
God, you can treat me whatever you
Yeah,
will.
no.
Feel fit.
Yeah.
But it's
Mm-hmm.
just in general, I've been just trying to think. Just and notice like my own actions and what I do, and
Yeah.
I and try to act, not like all mature since I'm like so
Yeah.
wise and everything. I'm
Yeah.
not. But
Yeah.
like I want to start acting like
Mm.
like I don't even know. Just in a way that's
Godly. Yeah.
of course.
Mm.
I don't know if like mature is the right word because I don't want to be like a lot of people see maturity as doing like being all
Yeah,
stoic and
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
trying to do that.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
I'm trying to be let go of like things that are
Yeah.
just not gonna further my life
Yeah.
in a way that's
I
beneficial.
think those can be very helpful. When you, let's just use everyday phenomenon to describe the translation. Okay, it might be helpful for you. So I know this is the same thing happened. How can I explain it? For example, when Elaine started spending time with Naomi, Elaine changed. Naomi may change. It's still young the time they spending, but I noticed the difference with Elaine. Because now she feel responsible for somebody else, spiritually speaking. Well, like you don't be a constable like that's a well honored place, so any sincere and caring heart will take that responsibility with wit and with some kind of a divine duty, right? So yeah. So look, the other phenomenon on that regard is Noah. When Noah I'll just spend time with you guys. Even prior to that, spend time, but more spend time with you guys. Different than this comedy the young people in the sense. You can see the change. Even the whole teaching process, a huge change. You notice yourself, am I? So yeah, in the way how you carry yourself, So is that making sense to you? So build a confidence. Also, just more than a confidence, but oh, I have obligation. I have a duty. I have entrustment here. I think what you are asking is a more solid way to discharge some kind of responsibility. Responsibility not because you're obligated to do something. Maybe responsibility you volunteer to do something. Out of love and the care and the service, sacrificial service in a sense. With that thing change, you can see, parents, especially when they're single and parents suddenly have the first child.
Right, they change a lot.
Yes, everything changed actually. It's so fundamental to change their life. So they just don't, most people don't recognize it because in American, after that, family life become a personal stuff.
Right.
It's a couple stuff, right? So, yeah. But in other cultures, they understand marriage was not built for romance. So I'm not saying it's don't have romance, don't love. That's obviously very, very important part of it.
Yeah, I think in other countries, in America and in other countries, each side is taken to too far an extent.
Too far, exactly. I like that observation, exactly.
Because in other places, people marrying for wealth and for heritage, and then
it's still here do that well. Just that bad, and right. So let's talk about that's healthy. You get we're happily married, but the center is total of them. That's all wrong because the culture present that, but it's not true. Yes, you get a happy married. Sorry to speak young man about this, but it's good for you prepared. So you get a happy married, but it's a design. If you're in a community, the generation responsibility, something in the past on. You get married, before you get married, you're gonna have a son. You're gonna pass on the family lineage or whatever, family responsibility. Imagine you're a king. Imagine you have a big business, right? Big estates. Many of those Asian contests, it's really prepared for the rightful heir. Well, that's why you get married. Sorry. I understand it's not American thinking. It's not Western thinking. Now, why it's not Western thinking? That's still thinking in European cultures, but modern day everything break it down. Because American came from a frontier culture. There are no roots. Since the American has been expanding for the 200 or 300 years in existence, it's always have opportunity. So means you have no really hardship. There's definitely hardship, adventure, wonderful things. Well, any nation building up, take that process. Don't think too much. You just don't know about it. America is a modern day nation, so modern near history. Imagine what another nation did. More difficult than American did. So America has this pride we self-made our nation. What about other nation? We don't think about it. Russia, Japan, any nation, Germany. Yeah, blood, sweat, fire, all kinds of things came to be a nation or be a people. Egypt, Israel, right? So is that making sense today? In the Bible tells us Israel went through a lot of hardship to become a nation. So because American is a new nation, then the memory of its expansion and it's before us. Somehow we think American is a model for them. Not dismissing what it achieved. Not at all. And admired. And admire the American people as a people. But they're not a thinker. They're not people. This is different people escape from other difficulties in life or persecution in life came over here. So when we talk about American people, we don't know really what we're talking about. It's not a people last for 1,000 years, 10 generations, many generations. It's really not, right? So, does that make sense? Called mingle, called marriage. I mean, any person today pick up students in the school. Do you have a pure bloodline? Not that a pure bloodline is a must or something. Is why you don't have it? I'm not talking about the bloodline, but I'm talking about it's a reflection detector, if you will, to see intermarriage happen. If intermarriage happen in different races, different social standards, that means a family was never a stable family. It means you have nothing to pass on. Does that make sense to you? You know, so sounds crazy, huh? So you have nothing to pass on means you don't really think the coming generations are important for you. You should make your own life survive, make your life happy, your own life happy. So one generation kind of a design for life. You don't think about the next generation. You may think of the nation building, but that's a political level. But on the family setting, few has made it, said, we're going to let this pass on. There are few family out there do that, obviously, in America, in Europe. But they have deep roots. They don't really confined by American tradition. They're actually more influenced by other traditions. American, you think of frontier culture or Western, they call it, Westerners culture, right? What's called? Go to the West and make cowboys or kind of thing. Pilgrim, or whatever culture, explorer.
Nomads
culture.
or something?
Yeah, it's don't have a long-term vision.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Yeah. Is that making sense here? They may do it, but it's more a impulse, a culture impulse, rather than a solid plan, Now, when you're going to last 100 years, pass on 100 generations. You went to a culture, well, today you want to be a warrior, tomorrow I want to be a farmer. I mean, this kind of things, So, is that making sense to you? You have a lot of opportunities, a lot of changes in one generation. Is it bad or good? I'm not talking about bad or good. My point is that impact the way how you construct your family culture. So when you get married, you don't get married because you want the heir. Does that make sense to you? To continue family tradition. You get married because you can have a better love, feel loved, or because I have a need to maybe I can be a better social standing. People do that all the time, but it's not the core. That's why the American in the beginning is meaning, what made it especially, is not the firstborn in European families. It's the second son, third son, because they don't have a big portion in inheritance. They come to America trying to make a name for themselves. Is that keeping sense to you? So, yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's true. So, So that mindset have a huge culture DNA in American construct of family. Why get married? Oh. For example, do you get married because you have inheritance to pass on? Even you think about disciplining your child, right? Because I'm talking about that, So, but you do now. If you get whole God wisdom is invisible, It's a treasure, not the world. But you have something you want to pass on. And then normal people or secular people definitely don't think along those terms. The only thing that compel them to think about have some error is a real thing, material things. Even that is receded, not play a bigger role in getting married and have a family. You just don't think about it. It's literally, it's not in American psyche. It's not in American culture DNA. Should I see that? But that's not good. That's not always good. And you can do that when your nation is newly building. But you can't be a culture perpetual. We still don't understand. America has not truly found its own identity as yet as a nation. We think we do because we're so powerful, so stretched out. We're number one. But you're number one, you don't know your roots. We think our roots, yeah, it's the founding father give us the roots. What a minute. The founding father sometimes don't know what they're doing. They sign off with the idea, but they didn't intend it to be the roots. They want you to develop it. Does that make sense? In a sense, we have this dilemma. We all, the posterity look back to the founding father for the vision. The founding father said, "Oh, we set it up, get our flourish. Maybe you can fulfill some kind of vision. You're gonna pick it up." We think we have either one. The founding father look at the posterity to be something validation for the vision, develop something. I give you the plan for me to develop it. So, and the posterity look at the founding father said, "Yeah, they must figure it out for us. We just fulfill the vision." It's not true. American nations, many nations are like that, but not everyone. However, not everyone. That's the difference about the culture God has with the Israelites. As a difference from a Confucius culture in a sense. Confucius culture is because it's perpetual for souls and souls of years, and there's a reason why it does that. We don't think about it. We just treat it as another cultural phenomenon, another civilization. We treat very lightly about the things that is to be honored by many people through the generation. Do you think we are so smart? America has this arrogance, Look at the Bible, look at this culture, think, yeah, we're better than them. Good luck. I mean, sorry to humanity. It's obviously they have not got the roots into what it means to build a culture.
Mm-hmm.
Is that making sense here? So, and build a culture require education. How you educate?
Well, yeah.
That's the Bible was meant. How you educate. And American education is a factory. Somebody lies, some kind of a mindset. But it's fitted the corporate culture, fitted the government need. But as much as it goes, flourish as it goes, diverse as it goes, it's self-conflicting.
Quick question about education. What are your thoughts about if say the way public school was done, say it was done right, do you think it would be better to do like a public school, or do you think it's better to school under homeschool?
It's impossible to do public school if you're going to pass on family values. Because the public school is like an altar. Today, TV set is the altar. We don't think about those terms, okay? The TV, the medium, is your priest. I mean, altar, well, let me see. In the past, a temple, a place to dispense value. Okay? Dispense morals. Dispense opinions, what is right or wrong. Right? Today is all propaganda, so all about money, so that we don't necessarily think it's wrong. But actually worse than the ancient days. Not ancient days for sure, they have bad abuse those things. But I'm talking about the more a construct, cultural construct. So we have yield that to whom? To the medians. Medians play much greater role than academics, than school, than policymakers. I understand medium can criticize, but today's medium is a center dissemination of popular opinion. They decide public opinion. They think to reflect public opinion. They don't reflect public opinion. They don't. They think they do. But it's a sweet manipulated popular opinion. So what it means, media has assigned itself to be kind of like a priesthood. In the ancient time, priests tell you what's so how to think, what is right, wrong, and right. So, or political propaganda do that in nations like communist, Nazis, those nations. So basically, it's a control public opinion, and that's a terrible abuse that it function in society. That function should not be merely garner support, or influence opinion, or even reflect object reflecting. It's supposed to be educational, enlightening. It's supposed to be a channel to disseminate good values. It's like school, right? School lost that function today. So, I mean, unless you don't know what you're talking about. So you can't have a massive public that everybody agree upon major, democratically we voted and have a majority, agree on this. Therefore, this must be right. What? Who told you that? If you go to, let's just make a meal every day. You have everyone language has every respect and other, but you're going to mom go home, they have 5 children, grandma, grandpa run, different age again, and you young couple or maybe uncle. Let's vote on what we should eat tonight. Think about it. It's like pasta, noodle, rice, whatever, So it's terrible. So you have public opinion. Yeah, you have majority opinion. Is ready. Now, if it's a pasta, rice, noodle in soup, that's okay. You can follow majority opinion. It doesn't harm anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. Should we set the house on fire? Well, people say, yeah, we don't do that. Well, should we invade the nation? Let's set things on fire, right? So, Americans are strong, don't care. Should we start a war? Let Mexican vote it. Not American vote it. Should we have a war with American? Mexican vote it. American, let me see, start a war with China or whatever. a stronger power can overpower you, basically. You don't know how to say, guaranteed to win. Americans so indulged because such a strong power, they always have the advantage to say, I don't care, I can spend on that. It will never touch me, in a sense, I'm talking to you about this thing. It's in the psyche. Nobody would think it's a good idea for the citizens to vote whether Mexicans should start a war with America or not. Mm-hmm. Nobody would think like that. But it's only Americans think so citizens decide whether they should go to war. I'm just talking the arrogance behind it, thinking. They think no consequences. No, you get a bite all the time. It just didn't turn you aside, didn't really have a lot of repercussion, right? So, is that making sense here? American started a war, every United Nation is being changed dramatically. Mm-hmm. What if you are that nation? Your citizens are thinking the same? Good luck, honey. You would terribly think, wow, hope somebody don't start a war with us, right? So, Is that making sense here? You don't think, I will see whether we should start a war or not. This is kind of arrogance I'm talking about. We don't even think about it because in your arrogance, you forgot. Maybe America not always being like this. Or they had not started from here. It takes a lot of debate and mindset to start a second time the war with England. Sure enough, the White House is getting burned down for that. I'm not sure. Medicine time. Medicine for the second war against the British. Eventually, he has to recede. So let's sign a treaty. Madison is the father of the Constitution. So we're not talking about just anybody, right? So, the first 50 years of American history. So I hope I'm speaking right. I'm not sure. I'm not a historian. I don't recall all the details. So the point is this: I'm digging with you. It's a psyche. Not psyche is the wrong word. It's a preposition. Things we take for granted, but should not take for granted if you're gonna build a solid young people. If I talk like this, American will get upset with me. Not 80%, 90%. But if you're a wise man, knowing truly history, truly how to educate raise up wise young people, this is exactly the thing you need to talk about it. Sooner or later, am I? You're 18 years old, almost 3 days. You don't know about this stuff. That's sensible to me actually. 18 years old, 15 years old, I get it. Just walk out my ignorance. But 18 years old, I'll be to think about it. So, 21 years old, after, 4 years, so 23, 24. I know a lot of stuff more than people don't have a hard time to catch up. So, I'm talking wrong. That's only 4 years. I was a flash around and don't do a lot of good things. But in college, I read so much, dialogue with different people so much. China's education more confined, unfree, have bias than here. This is personal enlightenment, a personal quest. I'm interested to know. I want to know. So far I'm going to read and study a little bit. And I don't want to have an opinion until I studied it. I have a solid grip about the subject. So, is that making sense to you? So. Yeah, I read one time I engaged some dialogue with a history major in school, 3rd year in school. He was a major in called the Korean. They have this national big university. He's a visiting student basically. We somehow he won't be my friend, so we become a friend. I'm barely able to understand English. His English is not that good either, so you guys imagine the barrier. Well, one day I was so interested, intrigued. I wanted to know what he learned. He was a history major, I said, I know a little bit of history. I do. Read their history a little bit. I want to know more of their history. And he gave me this textbook, He had, we're a kind person. And so I read, what? So evidently described the history different than I read. So I figured out, I said, this how you guys think about things? Yeah, okay. I'm just talking about it in the past, but the last chapter, basically, I said, well, this is obviously, somehow it's so biased. Don't you think you need to be corrected? It was very defensive by that time. I said, hold on a minute. Use a small nation. You are under the gun of America. You don't have your diplomatic policy. You may think you do, you don't. That's a fact. So you don't recognize you're calling the rather China and America. He was like, what are you talking about? Something like in the dream world. I said, hold on a minute, I don't study history that much. It's not my major. But this is common sense to me. You have North Korea and South Korea. You already have a war. As a result of a war and the contention between the two camps. And it still, you call it between China and America. All through these years as a nation started. You don't read that? No. He's a history major. If somebody else, I understand. I was like, what in the world are you being taught?
Right.
Is that making sense to you? And that's sorry. It's about the funny. Is that making sense to you? Now, therefore, the will for how you learn things is so important. You know, maybe I'm weird though. I always think differently. I don't think I think differently. I just think more cohesively. I actually don't think differently. I actually think in a word normal,
Mm.
reasonable way. People just not refuse to be informed. Refuse to apply their mind. Apply due diligence with the thing they want to opine upon. I'm just like, okay, if I'm going to opine something, I want to at least have something to opine on my part, right? So, don't want to do surface level opinion. If I don't know something, I will say I don't know much. That's decent.
Mm-hmm.
Or I know a little bit. Or I know something, maybe not in every detail, but I know the essence of something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the part I think you begin to start learning things. Hopefully you will have that kind of same approach. Not every subject has to know every detail of it. But you must know the essence of it.
Mm.
Is that making sense to you? So that you don't make uninformed, ignorant judgment when the subject matter is relevant to your overall process, your wisdom, or decision in life. Okay, is that making sense to you? I'll give you some life wisdom. This is not a. It's actually is biblical. Now, suppose you listen to God. God give you instructions about certain matters, and sometimes God don't tell everything. He give you for yourself to make your own decision. Okay, I have this piece of land now. The weather pattern is a set for that location. Now I can use that land for different purposes. God give me the land, He give me the location, He give me the resources to develop it. Now how can I develop it successfully? People say, oh, that guy did this. Maybe our idea, in Texas did this. It must work in Washington. It works in the city life. It must work in this little town. It's like, it doesn't take a lot of brain to figure out. Maybe it's so different environment, so different culture there, so different application of the land there. It doesn't take a lot. But certain people don't think along those terms. Is that making sense here? So I used to plant, let's see, beans, okay? In Mexico. I'm planting beans in Washington, D.C., Washington State. I'm going to be a farmer, basically.
Mm.
I'm a farmer in Mexico. I know everything about it. Well, you certain thing, no, maybe
Mm-hmm.
can carry it over. But maybe it's totally useless,
Mm.
especially in the major what are you going to plant. Do you know anything?
Mm.
Maybe learn from the farmers here who done it for generations. But certain people have arrogance. No, I don't want to learn it. I don't need them. I know this before. Is that making sense to you? What kind of arrogance is that? That's not literally arrogant. That's stupid arrogance. I'm sorry to use that word. No, if you can be forward confident in the things you do. If my cousin come around and said he want to do that, I would say, I'm confident I can be a good bean producer in Washington. Let me go with it. Let me plan let me take charge of the land. When I study his mindset like that, I would say, well, hold on a minute. I don't care about your confidence there and your philosophy there. Let me just simply tell you, I have confidence, or could arrogant. I need to learn from the farmer in Washington. That's where I start. So, that sounds arrogant. No, I just invalidate my cousin. He's not getting. He's the best counsel than the farmer here. That's all. But my cousin was saying I'm arrogant, am I?
Mm.
I don't listen to him, I never done farming before. I'm a real estate developer. I'm doing one farmer. He knows farm a lot of things. But if that is a mindset in case it's a land, I will arrogantly dismiss him.
Yeah.
No, you are the worst kind of manager I want. Sorry. Why? You don't think straight. If you're really good farmer, you will like me. You will tell me, actually, compel me to learn from local farmers first. That's simple, am I right? If you're really good farmer, you know how it started. The best help you have. Then you don't think, well, go there, plant beans. That's impossible. Obviously, you're not a good farmer. You may succeed in one, here's my point, one deal doesn't mean you know the whole council. Now, most people, unfortunately, in life, is they succeed in one thing because success blind them. They think they know the whole council or the furnished life council. It's two different matter. It's just like I don't want a rocket scientist to tell me how to run the nation. Period. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how capable you are, this means you are not equipped to run the nation. Run a nation requires different mindset than the rocket science. The more you're rocket science, the more maybe adequate and not fit for the run the nation. It took the different territory of use to understand, to furnish the council things. A different kind of decision making process. Is that making sense to you? You know? But mankind will think that rocket science, a successful business person, is equally should succeed in running a nation. No, they may be the worst guy. Why? Because rocket science and business people were competitive. In today's party politics, every competitors with some affiliation. But if you have, think about you have a community, you want a good father, right? You want a big brother to learn to harmonize people together, right? Unify the team together. Do you want the competitive people to be a leader, to run all that? Or you want to build your society to be like that? Do you want competitive people to lead there? Good luck. It's impossible. A different mindset. They can be useful for sure, but they can't lead a nation as a family, as eldership. So, and I'm talking preaching to the choir, obviously. So, but I'm very glad, Elijah, in previous conversation, you talking about you were letting go things, begin to seek the deeper things, especially on the journey here. You said you want wisdom, you feel wisdom really, important to your life. And that's true. I mean, I look back my life, failed many things, succeed in little things. But the thing, I can confidently see through all that, yes, it's really, eventually those things is really not making much a dent. It's my relation with the Lord. The wisdom that gives to me is really a delight and a passion. And a confidence, so, yeah. And it works, by the way, so, yeah. Does that make sense to you? So, yeah. So do not be discouraged or let the world dictate to you all the works. Wisdom works in mystical ways. People said, I have this opportunity, that opportunity. Allah kept calling me. Those people, maybe. But that's not true. But wisdom is always going to work its way. Wisdom is a power. And sometimes knowledge is a power or whatever. So. But wisdom is a power. The Bible says so. Wisdom may uphold, judge everything. So wisdom eventually yields authority power. It's a matter of time. but we don't think along the terms. Wisdom enlists everybody for its service. You don't tell me that. Well, hold on a minute. Unless you're not wise man. Wise people want to serve those who are wise. And wise people feel blessed they work with people who are wise. It's like there's no competition here. Is that making sense to you? So I have this idea. It's a terrible idea, but thinking about a beehive, right? All those bees working things in the center as well. It's a queen. So wisdom is a queen. I'm not saying that to control anything, to use others for your benefits. I'm not saying that at all. I'm talking about God designed it. That's why David, you were reading Proverbs. David, with the whole heart, want Solomon and posterity to have wisdom. With that, maybe wrap up. I'm not sure time's yet. Oh my, it's already. Yeah, you pray for that. Let's wrap up. I hope I not give you redundant things. The thing inspired by your quest. So, yeah, this kind of change is good. The other point I want to share for you to ponder is that life is always in the change. Foolish people say, "Oh, maybe some change I want to accommodate, so I got to stop changing." Wise people say, I want to do better changes all the time.
Bigger change after another.
Yeah, better changes. So they don't think change will stop. They only want change to be positive, to be productive, to be meaningful. Is that making sense to you? So you can see people some are stagnant because of the mindset. If I only do something, then I can stop changing. Or life will stop changing. Those people are stagnant. There's other people, they always refreshing. On the deathbed, they're still full of laughter, They never stagnate. Go ahead.
Yes, Lord, I pray that we would seek a true change, Lord, in our lives. Lord, that we would change according to you and your word and your leading in our life, Lord. Lord, I ask and pray for true wisdom as well in my life. May I seek it from the right source and understand it in the right way. Lord, I just pray for an opening up of my mind and heart, Lord, for a greater capacity for you, Lord. Lord, that your wisdom would be known to man, Father. Lord, that the wisdom of this world, which is not true wisdom, Lord, would be brushed aside. Lord, I pray there just for your discernment and your voice. Bless your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.